Well, good morning. It's Stacey Hawkins, and welcome to another edition of Stacey Says. As I promised you last week, we are going to spend the whole week this week talking about lean and green meals. And now you may think, well, why is she talking about lean and green meals? And in specific, I'm talking about those of you who are on the Optavia 5-in-1 program. And the reason that I choose to do this is, number one, because I excelled at it and I lost 100 pounds, and it's an amazing way to be able to lose the weight and keep it off forever. And more importantly, it is the key to keeping it off forever. When you like what you eat, you're not going to go back to bad habits. You're going to enjoy the foods that you're eating, and you're just going to be able to do this, right? You can't live on chicken and salad forever. And unfortunately, a lot of times people will get into their lean and green meals and think that that's what it's all about. And they're like, I can't stand another piece of chicken or a piece of steak and a veg again, right? I can't wait till this is over. Well, my goal in all of this for you is to show you how you can do this forever, just like I've done, and make it flavorful and make it fun and make it delicious and make it easy. And the cool thing is you can do this getting your family involved without them even knowing it. You can get some healthy habits into your kids, your husbands, your significant others, whoever. So this whole week we're going to talk about lean and green, how to do it quick, fast, and easy, how to do it under the constraints of today's busy lifestyle, and how to keep it up forever while you're on program, while you're transitioning, and then most importantly, while you are off. So I'm going to let you know that throughout the week I'm going to be attaching some files down below too, and some links and places for you to go for additional information on the Optavia site, on the Stacey Hawkins site, some other recipe sites. I want to give you a ton of resources with this, and I'm going to start today. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are working with a health coach. Health coaches have gone over the basics of the lean and green with you. Lean and green meal, you're going to have it once a day if you're on 5-in-1. You'll have it a couple times a day if you're on the, I think they call it the 2-in-2 or the 3-in-1 or whatever. But your lean and green meal is what we're going to focus on, and it consists of lean protein sources and good green veggies that are low in glycemic index. The first link that I'm going to give you is the overview of the lean and green program from Optavia, just so that you can print it out and you can have the specifics. The second thing I'm going to give you is what's called the week's eats guide. All right, so planning is what is key, and that is today's lesson in the few seconds we have left, is that the only way to really be able to do this now and to learn how to do it forever is to create a plan. So each week you need to know what you're going to eat, what days of the week you're going to eat it, or at least have 5 lean and greens at the ready, and plan it out. Because if you get caught with nothing, that's when you run into trouble and grab the first thing that you want to eat, and all kinds of bad stuff happens. So we don't want that to happen. So you need to have a plan. So print out the week's eats, print out the lean and green guide so that you have it, and know that throughout the rest of the week this week, by Friday, you are going to be armed and dangerous, and you will have this down pat. All right. Did you like this? Was it great information? Do you have people that you can share it with? Please go ahead and do so just by sharing it on your Facebook page. And if you're not already doing so, make sure you follow by pressing the button up above so that you know when these videos are out and about and live, so that you can have the information first. And last but not least, if you want great lean and green recipes and to be part of the recipe club, go to staceyhawkins.com, and there's a little button at the top that says join the recipe club. All you need to do is click on it, and every Thursday we send out a newsletter with great ideas. All right, that's it. I've gone over my time. Have a fabulous day, and I will see you tomorrow. Well, good morning and welcome back to day 2. Today is Tuesday of our lean and green inspiration for this week. And today I want to focus on the lean portion of the meal. But if you printed out the sheet that I referenced to you yesterday, and if you don't have that, please go back to yesterday's video and you can print out the links below. We sent you the link for the Optavia Lean and Green Meals Guide, as well as the Stacey Hawkins Week's Eats sheet, so that you have those. But today I want to focus on the lean portion. And this is kind of where some people get confused, and I've had a lot of questions about, well, what's a lean, a leaner, or a leanest, and what is this healthy fat thing, and how does it all play together? Well, the guidelines as it's set up state that a lean and green meal needs to be 5 to 7 ounces of cooked lean protein, right? So for the lean portion, plus 2 healthy fats. But those 2 healthy fats are determined, and whether you eat excess fat is determined by which protein sources you choose. Now, fat is really important in a diet, and you can't go 100% fat-free on a diet program for sure, because it affects things like your hair and your skin and your nails and your brain. Your brain is mostly fat, if you didn't know that. But fat is really important. But of course, you don't want to eat too much of it because it's really caloric. And while you're on 5 and 1, you want to monitor the amount of fat that you're eating. Some protein sources already have a lot of fat in them. So we think about things like salmon or some steaks, or even some of the fattier meats that we eat, like some porks have some extra fat in there too. If you're eating a protein source that has fat in it, then you don't need an extra fat for the day. But if you're eating something really lean, like a lean piece of fish or a lean piece of chicken, or a vegetable protein like a tofu or something along those lines that doesn't have a fat in it, then you definitely need to make sure that you get your healthy fats. And tomorrow we're going to talk about healthy fats and why, again, why they're important, but why it is that you need to incorporate them in, how you can use them for cooking, some of the healthy fat substitutions, etc. And there's a whole nother reference sheet for that. So today, just know this: your lean protein sources, it's supposed to be, as we said here on the sheet, 5 to 7 ounces. And again, Optavia has some really great guidelines on here for you with lists, and that was on the sheet that you printed out yesterday. It goes to show you what your leanest, your leaner, and your lean options are. And if you have a lean option, then you need 2 extra healthy fats. Excuse me, I said that wrong. If you have a leanest, right? So that's the one on the top, a leanest portion, then you need 2 extra fats. If you have a leaner portion, you need 1 extra fat. And if you have a lean portion, you need no healthy fats. Does that make sense? I hope so. But again, it's all on the sheet. So go ahead and download that. And if you like this, please share it with your friends and family or anyone else who may need a little help or inspiration. And of course, follow us above. And if you need recipes, go join on the Facebook or join on the StaceyHawkins.com website, and then join us tomorrow for another episode of Stacey Says, where we're going to talk about healthy fats. All right, see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye. Well, good morning. It is another beautiful day, and here we are on Wednesday of this week going through our Lean and Green Inspiration Week. And today we are talking about healthy fats. Now, if you watched yesterday, you knew that we were talking about proteins, and we were talking about lean versus leaner versus leanest, and the fact that you need to be able to have healthy fat in your diet. But if you choose a protein source that's way too low in fat, then you need to add an extra fat. So that's not meant to be confusing. It's actually really simple. And on the worksheet that we gave you for yesterday, or the link I should say that we gave you yesterday, the Optavia lists show you exactly if you have a lean, you need this many. If you have a leaner, you need this many. And if you have a leanest, you need this many. Now, what's really cool though is there are different ways that you can play up with those fats. You may think fats are just things like butter or oil or dairy or cheese, but there's a lot of different ways that you can get those fats in during the day, and you don't have to suck down a tablespoon of coconut oil. In fact, Optavia has come up with a whole healthy fats list, and I'm going to go ahead and put the link for that below so that you have it and you can download it. And it's it's actually 3 pages long, and it's really kind of cool because it includes things like, for example, they list monounsaturated fats and polyunsaturated fats, and they tell you at the top here, there's some specifics as to, why they broke them out this way, but things that you can have that you wouldn't think of, like, how about almond flour or nuts if you happen to like nuts? And you don't get a lot. You only get 8 pieces of nuts, or like 8 almonds for a serving. But then there's also the traditional things on here like that you would think of, like your mayonnaise and margarine, although you should never eat margarine. Blah, nothing but trans fats, and it's so bad for you. Seeds, right? Things like chia seeds, flax seeds, hemp seed, poppy seed, sunflower seed, things that you can incorporate. And how awesome would those be on a salad? Then there's also things like your salad dressings, and they have all different kinds of brands on here. What I will tell you when it comes to salad dressings is please, please, please read the the ingredients. A lot of them have garbage in them. Buy something all natural, or better yet, make your own. And I have a whole video series that I did on marinades, dressings, and vinaigrettes that you can find over on YouTube that are all on program as well. So lots of different things on here, lots of different ways to be able to incorporate your healthy fats in. What you just need to remember is this: healthy fats and your protein choices or your leans go hand in hand. So if you have a lean option, no extra healthy fat. If you have a leaner, you get 1 healthy fat. And if you have a leanest, then you get 2 extra fats. It's really simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. And when we show you the breakdown of the nutritional information, like when you do a Stacey Hawkins recipe, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, then go to staceyhawkins.com and you can look at all of our recipes that are on there. But we have a whole box that says, is it a lean, a leaner, or a leanest? And do we have any extra healthy fats in there? How many condiments, etc. And speaking condiments, you don't want to miss out, because we're going to do that episode in just a couple of days. That's it. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you liked it, please share it. There's a lot of people out there who could benefit from this, and I'm glad to be able to help and inspire you with this little tidbit of information today for those of you on the Optavia 5-in-1 program. Have a great day. Go out there and rock it, and make sure you're back here tomorrow morning to join me for day, what do we do? 1, 2, 3, 4? I don't know. Join me for the next day. We'll see you soon. Bye. Well, good morning and welcome back to day 4. I think I was a little confused yesterday, but day 4 of Stacey Says, where we're focusing this week on lean and green meals and how they can benefit you and what exactly that means when you're on program. But most importantly, making it quick, making it fast, making it easy, making it family friendly, and making it delicious so that you can do this forever. So we've talked about we're talking about greens today. We talk about leans, we talk about healthy fats, and we're going to talk about condiments tomorrow. So that leaves today as greens, as I said. Now, of course, the sky is the limit when it comes to vegetables, with a few exceptions. Now, the 5-in-1 program has you eating what are called low glycemic vegetables, and those are vegetables that have their own natural sugar on the low side. So when you think about things like lettuce, not a lot of sugar in it, or eggplant, not a lot of sugar in it. But then you can kind of think of things like peppers, definitely higher sugar, or Brussels sprouts, a no-no on program because they're so high in sugar. Now, granted, you'll be able to incorporate some of those veggies back in once you're transitioning and, once you are maintaining. But for now, to maintain the chemistry of the 5-in-1 program, which is so important, you want to make sure that you stick to the list. Sorry. So I've got for you a link below to be able to download the list of lean and green veggies that are approved on there. So you can just click that. And then I also have for you, more importantly, this one, which is called the vegetable conversion chart. And the way they do this is because measuring the veggies is not easy. And I'm going to read right off of here. This is a vegetable conversion chart, which will help you convert of vegetables volume, which is cups, into its weight in grams and ounces so that you can get your veggies accordingly. Now, this is really a great list, and it's 4 pages long, and it's going to help you figure out, again, which are the best veggies for you. Now, much like we talk about the lean, leaner, and leanest, we've also got what they call lowest carbohydrate, moderate carbohydrate, and highest carbohydrate. So the lower the carbohydrates, the greater your portion you're going to get, and the higher the carbohydrates, the lower the portion you're going to get. Now, the key with these two is no matter which veggies you get, how do you cook them and how do you make them taste delicious, right? Because again, you can only stare down so much salad and you can only take a look at steamed broccoli so many times, right? So, well, of course, that's where Stacey Hawkins comes into play. And I want to be able to help you make those veggies taste delicious by cooking them properly, seasoning them properly, and giving you tons of options. And I got to be honest, that's what I found was my key to success on program, was how do I take the limited amount of things that I can eat and make them taste good in such a way that I could eat them over and over again. So for all that information and more, you can check out the staceyhawkins.com website. And by all means, take a look through this video series that we've done this week. If today's the first day you're joining us, go back and watch Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, because there's a lot of great information in there for you as well. And if you like this, and if you thought it was great information and have other people who can benefit from it, please share. Now, tomorrow is going to be our last day. We're going to bring it all together, and we're going to wrap up with my favorite, which is condiments. Condiments can be super confusing, but they don't have to be. We're going to show you how to make it easy, delicious, and tasty, as always. All right, that's it. Have a fabulous day. Hope to see you back here tomorrow, and we're going to kick off the weekend with a bang. Bye. Well, good morning and happy Friday, and welcome back to the last day in our Lean and Green 101 series, if you will. So we've spent the whole week talking about leans, greens. We've talked about healthy fats and how to be able to cook things and how to be able to hack your way through this. On day one, I shared with you the Week's Eats Worksheet, which is your key to making sure that you have a plan and that you have a week's worth of meals at the ready and everything is set and ready to go. Now, we've gone through this, we've taken a look at all of it, but I want to talk today about the number one danger zone, which are condiments. Now, the Lean and Green, Optavia, 5-in-1, the whole program is based very much on chemistry, and it's based on carbohydrates and limiting your amount of carbohydrates. That's why we're so particular about, counting our veggies, and we're so careful with how much we eat. And, your packaged meals are very appropriately portioned so that by the end of the day, you have a limited amount of carbohydrates. So condiments can kill you. And I've seen Sandy's Kitchen Adventures not too very long ago. I love Sandy. She's a great friend. Not very long ago, she posted a picture of ketchup, right? And a bottle of the same size ketchup, and 3/4 of it was sugar. Like, you don't think about hidden sugar in things. And thanks for sharing that, Sandy, by the way. It was a real big eye-opener. But did you know that things like sauces or even some mustards or some flavor enhancers can have hidden carbohydrates? Things can have sugar in them as well. So you want to be really, really particular about the condiments that you eat. Optavia has put together a fabulous condiments list. I've put the link below for you so that you can print this out. But you can have great fresh spices. You can have dried spices. Again, that's where Stacey comes into play. You can have some sauces and some syrups, and you can have even some dairy and milk substitutes can be considered condiments. Your baking and cooking ingredients, things again like stevia for your flavor enhancers. Although really watch out for artificial sweeteners. There's a lot of controversy on them. Do what you think is best for you. But pay attention. You're limited to, I believe it's 3 condiment servings per Lean and Green meal and 1 gram of carbohydrates per condiment. So you need to be careful and you need to pay attention to this. So please, please, please print this list out and go from there. Now you'll notice a lot of people online that are doing recipes, myself included, will list the condiments on there for you to make it simple. So you'll notice on the little box that we have on the bottom of our recipes at staceyhawkins.com how many leans, how many greens, how many healthy fats, and most importantly, how many condiments. Because while it's great, I love this program because you don't have to do a lot of counting. You do need to be really specific with your Lean and Green meals and counting your carbs in your greens and counting your carbs in your condiments, because they can throw the whole program off if you're not careful. So I hope that makes sense. It really is easy. Print out this list. I've got the link below for you. And of course, for any other help, please feel free to message me here. I respond to messages usually within 24 hours unless there's some big catastrophe going on, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have. Or please post them in the comments below, because chances are good if you've got the question, a lot of people have the questions. I hope that this week has been really instrumental. We've spent a whopping 15 minutes going through all of this information. I've given you a lot. I've given you a lot of handouts. I've given you a lot of information, and I hope that you find it now so easy to make Lean and Green meals that are delicious, that are easy, that are on program, that will help you transition and keep the weight off for the long haul. That's what this is really all about. So I hope you have a fabulous weekend and a fabulous day, and I will look forward to seeing you guys on Monday for another edition of Stacey Says. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye.